Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paola and today I am here with Claire Contreras, the author of Fables and Other Lies. So Claire, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us what your book is about?
Yes. So I'm Claire Contreras, like she said, and my book, Fables and Other Lies, is about a woman who goes home after not having been there for years, and she goes back because her father just died. So she goes home to try to make amends with her mother, because since she couldn't with her father who died, which seems to be a recurring theme in a lot of my books. I feel like it's always, I have like, some people have like daddy issues, I have mommy and daddy issues. And that goes into my book somehow every time. It's based on an island called Pan Island that I made up, but it's really based on like Dominican culture.
So what inspired you to write this story?
I think this year has been hard for everybody, and creatively it was really difficult to come up with, like, to create anything. I was supposed to be writing contemporary romance and I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into anything that I was supposed to be writing, which was like light and fluffy things. And it wasn't working for me. And I was thinking about my grandmother more than ever this year, I feel like. And she used to tell me all these stories, all these folklores. She couldn't read. She was illiterate. So instead of reading me books, she would tell me stories. All these stories were always like, had like a warning in them. It was like, oh, the mermaid, and if you swim in the ocean on certain days, and it's always like certain religious days, if you swim in the ocean, then you become a mermaid and then you never see your family again. And as a little girl, I grew up watching like The Little Mermaid, which I was obsessed with. So to me, I was like, man, when can I do that? When can I go swim in the ocean? Like, my grandmother was trying to tell me like, stay away, and I was like, can I go there? Not what she intended. So I was thinking about these stories and thinking about like La Ciguapa, which is like a witch in our culture, and things like this. And we have so many folklores. So I started writing the story, and originally it was going to be about La Ciguapa, which is the witch. And then it just became something else. And then it became like this romance between two people who are enemies, or supposed to be enemies, in a gothic world, a gothic romance. That it was all these things put together that made this story, that it was the only thing I could get into. So I feel like if I was able to get into it, hopefully other people will be able to.
Yeah, no, I feel that being creative in this world and right now is hard enough. And so I think getting that break from reality with folklore, with gothic romance, creepy vibes is perfect. I love that. What do you hope your readers will get from this novel?
More than anything, I hope they get an escape. Like, more than anything, I hope they can read this and not think about 2020. I hope everybody can escape all of these things, even for a moment, like, obviously we can't ignore what's happening. Of course not. But at least for a little bit, take like a little bit of a pause and just have a moment for ourselves and, think about, okay, let's, go to this island and fall in love with this guy. So I hope more than anything, it provides an escape and gives them hope, because at the end of the day, it's a romance. And that's, which is what I love about romance, that it gives us some sense of hope.
Yeah, that's what I love about romance too. This next section is all about filling in the bookish blanks. So, the first book I ever loved was...
So when I was little, I would read like Babysitter's Club. Those were like my favorite books forever. And then I read Goosebumps, and those were my favorite. But I want to say the first book I ever loved, which I think is what I say every time, because that was the one that opened up like a can of worms and made me want to create things, was The Shining by Stephen King. I was 13, 14 when I read it, and I was in awe.
So you've always had that bit of mystery, suspenseful aspect in your interest. That really shows in your books. I love that. The first book I bought with my own money was
Dreamcatcher by Stephen King, which is when I read I went on a binge. I just read all of his books and I loved every single one of them. But that one, Dreamcatcher, was the first one that I went to the store and I bought. I read it right away. It's funny because I know a lot of people who are lifelong romance readers, and I've never been a lifelong romance reader, but I can't imagine writing a story without, first of all, without a romance in it, and second of all, without like that hope that it gives you. So I love creepy stuff. I love it. But also I'm like, but I want hopeful stuff in it too. Like, let's kill all these bad guys and, ghosts and whatever, but also like, let's be together in the end.
It's interesting how you want to add that bit of hopefulness to everything that happens in a horror or in a suspenseful book, because it makes all the angst worth it. My first book idea was,
Oh my gosh, my first book idea. I wrote a couple of books when I was in high school. And my first one was about a baseball player. It was like a love triangle. Again, I had never read a romance before, and my first idea was a love triangle. And it was a love triangle between this baseball player and a rock star, or a guy who became a rock star, but in the beginning wasn't. And this girl who was first friends with both of them and then started dating one of them, and then but she really loved the rock star, and this whole thing. And that was like my first one. And I mean, I still think about that book all the time, and I'm just like, I mean, I would never publish it. It was not publishable, but the idea was pretty good. And yeah, so that was my first one.
that's so interesting. I love that. If you were a book, what section of the bookstore would you live in?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I feel like I would be between like whatever goth section there is slash self-help section slash romance. Somewhere between those, because that's how I absolutely am. So one of those three.
Or both. Like your Half Truth series is kind of like that, like all of those put together.
Right. Yeah, that would be me. Like, that's me, except I don't know how to sell those. I'm like, this is romantic suspense, but it's also this, and I never know how to sell them.
If you could pick a song to be Fables and Other Lies theme song, which one would it be and why?
Let me look at my little list. I bet you I'll come up with a good song. Okay, there's a song called Where's My Love by, and I don't know how to say these people's names. It's SYML. And that song I listen to a lot, and I feel like that's a good one for this. Like, I write in like Bad Bunny into like every single one of my books. So maybe a Bad Bunny song. Maybe a Bad Bunny song. Mia with Bad Bunny and Drake would be a good one, actually.
Good song. Do you want to talk about your upcoming projects before we wrap up?
I have The Wicked Prince that's coming out in March. That's the only one I have planned, like for sure. March 16th it comes out, and I'm really excited about that one. It wraps up, like, I did a Royals series last year, and it wraps up the other Royals, but I don't have any more that are coming that I know dates for. So I have a lot of things like brewing right now, but nothing that I'm like 100% I'm releasing at these dates.
That's so cool. I can't wait to read more in the Secret Society. The amount of suspense that those books hold, I love them so much. I wish they could turn those into movies or a TV show or something, because it has all the potential.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. That's how I see it playing in my head when I write them. I'm like, I see the whole thing as a movie, and then I just write them. And but yeah, I do. They are really. I think that's what I love about them. They're so heavy on the suspense, but they also have romance. But the suspense is like, that's like my kryptonite. Like, I love writing that.
It's such a good series. Everyone, not only pick up Fables and Other Lies, but also the Secret Society series. There are 2 books out so far, Half Truths and Twisted Circles. So check it out. You're going to love them. Thank you so much, Claire, for doing this with me. I really loved picking your brain. I hope we can do this again for your next book.
I would love that. Thank you so much for having me. It's always fun talking to you.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you everyone else for watching. I will leave links to buy Fables and Other Lies down below, as well as Claire's website and social media so that you can follow her and support her. Thank you for watching this video, and we will see you in another one soon. Bye!